This one's going to be hard because I've never put this one, like, I've talked to individual people about it, but I've never kind of put this one out openly about anxiety. So I guess here we go. We are episode 6, 7, 6 phalanges. And today I want to talk about something that has plagued me my entire life. And I actually, right off camera, I made a bunch of notes because this one's tough for me to talk about because it's something that I've actually struggled with my entire life. Anxiety and what it does to you physically, what it does to you emotionally, and how people react to you. So it's one of those things that people say, like, well, it's not a broken bone, you don't have a limp, your arm's not in a sling, so clearly you're not hurting. But thankfully I'm somebody that my anxiety doesn't manifest in depression or anything like that, so I'm not physically hurting. But I think back to when I was a little kid, we would go as a family to events, and these sporting events where if I had a dog in the fight, I would not eat the entire time there. And it kind of became a joke amongst my family that I couldn't eat until we left the Silver Dome or the Hoosier Dome or whatever. I'm dating myself now. But it became this kind of joke within my family, and then transitioning into playing Little League soccer or Little League baseball and Pee Wee soccer and football and all the sports that I played, I would miss a game every season because I would get myself so worked up about imposter syndrome or not playing up to my potential or whatever thing in my head. And this is going on in a 10, 11, 12-year-old kid, and literally making myself physically sick. And it's something that I've battled my entire life. And it's something now, I think, as a culture, we're talking more about mental health. We're talking more about depression. We're talking more about getting help. And for me, my anxiety is always related to, like, something that I'm performing with. So before bike races, it's only been recently that I've been able to actually eat food before bike races, and any of you guys know that that's a big deal. You have to get nutrition in your body, but I would just be my stomach would be so knotted up that I couldn't do it. So I would basically just start drinking, like, infinite protein shakes or their breakfast blend or something like that. So it was basically just fluid, and I wasn't taking anything into my body and then paying for it later in the day because I just get so worked up. And it's hard to describe what it is because it manifests in a bunch of different ways. It manifests in high blood pressure. It could be elevated heart rate. Like me, I grind my teeth. I chew my fingernails. I never have any fingernails. I mess with my hands. If you guys watch any of the podcast video or go back and look at any of my other Real Talks, I talk with my hands a lot and I play with my hands a lot. And that's my anxiety showing through. And it's just something that I've learned to deal with and learned to accept. And I think as a community, I think we need to do a better job of making that okay, because a lot of the reaction that I've dealt with in my life has been to just stop it. Just stop it. Why can't you just stop it? And it's like, yeah, okay, thanks for I would love to. I would love to not have to deal with it, but there it is. So the way that I deal with it is I just accept it, and I understand that it's there, and I understand that it's like the 1,000-pound elephant in the room, and it's just something that it's part of my backpack of baggage that I carry around, and I'm constantly working on it, and it's something that I will always struggle with. So if you guys run into me before an event and I seem a little short or I seem a little distant, it's because I'm worked up and I'm anxious, and just kind of cut me some slack. And if you see anybody doing that, if you see anybody around you that's acting like that, or if they try and talk to you about their anxiety, whatever it is, or depression or any of that stuff, like, listen, just listen. Let them talk. Let them make it real. That's the thing that I've had the most success with in my life, is telling people, Like I've talked to Doug about anxiety, and I've talked to my really, really good friends about anxiety and what it does to me. And it makes me feel better because I feel like I put it into the world and it puts me a little bit more in control of it rather than it constantly controlling me and feeling like I'm not in the driver's seat anymore. So that's what we were hoping to talk to Dr. Kristen Keim this week about all of these things. But unfortunately, Washington is under a blanket of snow, and they lost power and internet and all that stuff. And they went back to the Stone Age. So we didn't get to do that, but look forward to that when we do talk to her, because I'm definitely going to bring that up and talk about it a little bit further, and hopefully she can give me some more coping skills for that. So tune in, guys. We're starting to get a little bit more traction with all these videos, and I love hearing the comments that you guys are leaving, and I love the positive feedback. I loved hearing all of the positive feedback last week from my wife, and a lot of you sent me messages of congratulations for her, and they mean a lot to me, and they mean even more to her. So thank you for that. Click the subscribe button, like the video, do all that stuff, send us a note, tell us what you think, tell us who you want to have on the podcast, all that stuff that we say every week. So thank you so much for tuning in, and thanks for letting me ramble about anxiety, and I'll see you guys next week.